Hi, my name is Giacomo Gianniotti, and I am the voice of Hawkeye as well as Old Man Hawkeye. I was very excited. I was originally offered a different role, but because of the size of the role, I wasn't able to do it with my Grey's Anatomy schedule. So at first, I was sad that I wasn't going to be a part of this game. And a short while after, everyone at Square Enix came back to me and said, "Hey, I know that that character didn't work out. It was too demanding for your schedule. We have another character that we'd love for you to play. It's going to be one of our first DLC drops, and it's Hawkeye. Would you be interested in coming to play Hawkeye?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I love Hawkeye. It's an amazing character, part of the Avengers, and such a unique part of the Avengers." Sort of an underdog kind of character, and so I was really excited, and I hopped the opportunity, and yeah, for the better half of this past pandemic year, I have been in a recording booth closet in my home, creating this character with all of you lovely people at Square Enix. So my approach to creating Hawkeye and sort of unique original voice and performance was two things. One was not watching and not seeing anything that had sort of been done before, as I didn't want to be influenced or create an imitation of anything that had already existed. I wanted the viewers and the players to find something new and exciting about this character that hadn't been seen before, an original take on it, however, still obviously honoring the character and his history. So from day one, everybody at Marvel's Avengers had provided me with this copy right here of My Life as a Weapon, which is an amazing comic book. It's got several comic books within the comic book, sort of a collection of Hawkeye comics. And this was the big inspiration and sort of part that everybody in the game wanted to focus on, this sort of version of Clint. And so that was sort of my Bible, if you will, of reference in this journey of creating this character and voicing him. It was all drawn from this comic book. So I found a lot of humor and wit and charm and messiness in his life. He's very disorganized. And I got a lot out of the relationship between Clint and Kate in this particular comic book as well. And just how their dynamic is so funny and beautiful at the same time. They have this sort of like sibling brother-sister relationship, and even though he's sort of the senior who is sort of like teaching her, she's his protege, she's in somehow more mature and wiser than him, and I think a lot of comedy ensues from that. And it's been really fun to kind of use this as a jumping point to create something new and something hopefully people will connect with when they play the game. When I was younger, I definitely did a lot of archery. I had a lot of like summer camps and things like that where we would do a lot of archery. So it's definitely something I'm familiar with, but I'm in no way, no shape or form a Hawkeye level of skill. I had so much fun with him, and I just felt really connected to Hawkeye. I felt like I slipped into him really easily, and I think it was a really beautifully written game. So I think the words and the story itself was really made my job a lot easier, certainly. And being able to act off, Ashley, who plays Kate Bishop, who's an incredible actress as well. That gave me so much and made my job so much easier as well. I think the challenge was more this character that I didn't originally know I was voicing, which is Old Man Hawkeye. In the game, you're going to see Clint going several decades into the future, meeting an older version of himself in the future. And because of his isolation, because of all of his loss that he's experienced in this sort of post-apocalyptic world, all of that, a lot of his humor and charm has been stripped from him, and he's a much more serious character with much more gravitas. And so that, if any, was the challenge of really creating a separate voice, a separate character, and really differentiating those two so that they really felt like two different people, even though technically it's the same character. Well, I think, as a voice actor, certainly when there's not a lot of motion capture involved, like this project, I mean, you're really relying on your imagination. When you're working in TV and film, the props and the set designers and the production designers have created these worlds in front of you to react to, and you're in the room with other actors and you're getting to interact with them. Whereas the voice work can be quite isolating. You're in a closet, in a booth. None of those real things are there. You're not acting with another actor. So what the voice actor has to imagine and create artificially is so much greater to really make them feel like they're there. And I think the acting part is much more intense. You're doing much more acting because you're having to pretend that you're fighting off this futuristic version of the Hulk named Maestro in this cave, but you're just in a closet by yourself in your pajamas. So it's sort of having to imagine unimaginable circumstances within a very artificial environment. And I think that's the challenge for me and for I'm sure most voice actors. Oh, when I joined Grey's Anatomy, I fangirled over Camilla, and I'm like, I have to tell you because it's going to be awkward otherwise. That I'm a huge fan of yours and of your work with Laura Croft, and I'm just a huge video game nerd. So it's just so cool to work with you and then she was like, "Oh my God, I didn't know that. That's so funny." And then so we had all these conversations about video games, about motion capture, and we've shared a lot of tips and secrets over the years of video game performance. And she's a terrific actress, and for anybody who's played those games, she's done a terrific job embodying that character. I think a large part of the story, going back to Old Man Hawkeye, is about getting a glimpse of the future. And it's a gift that, of course, none of us in the real world could ever have. So it's interesting to be thrust into a position where you have the power to affect the present, knowing what will happen in the future and having an opportunity to correct those things. And I think as a player of a video game, it's always about the fantasy and the escape and being a version of yourself you can never be. These are the things that, draw you to playing video games, certainly draw me to playing video games. So I think seeing a reality in which you could change the course of the future by having a glimpse into it is something that we as humans could never experience. So it's such a kind of cool experience that you can have in this game. And I think, and then apart from that, just getting all the bad guys, that's going to be a ton of fun. And, Hawkeye's got so many different arrow types to play with that you can, take down your enemies in such a myriad of ways that are so, fun and creative and fast paced. And his sword obviously is a big reveal as well. So it's not just his arrows, but, he's has this whole Ronin chapter of his life where he's a skilled samurai swordsmith. So that's another big part. I think between the gameplay and where the story goes is going to be a really fun combo. I just can't wait to see all you guys play Hawkeye and post about it and tweet about it, and I just can't wait to see all of your guys' experience playing Hawkeye and having Kate Bishop by his side, and you guys taking down all these foes and taking down Maestro. I just can't wait to see all the videos of your gameplay and your reactions to the moments in the story. Those are the stuff that I really look forward to.